all new Court TV.
How are we doing?
Harvey is doing the best he can under the circumstances. I haven't seen him.
You say the same thing every day.
Oh, I haven't.
You said the same thing during the trial.
Okay.
Then you said the same thing every day during deliberations.
And
now he's facing what's 29 plus 28. That's a lot.
We don't know about LA yet, so he's not facing anything in LA at the moment.
How is he doing? How is he feeling?
So you know that he was diverted from Rikers, from the way to Rikers to Bellevue Hospital.
Yes. Okay, so let's just kind of explain this to the viewers. So yesterday, I think when you were here, we explained how he was processed in the Manhattan courthouse.
Right.
He was taken just through the bridge to the adjacent building, the jail, also known as the Tombs.
The Tombs.
And from the Tombs, he was taken by FDNY ambulance.
With a black van behind him.
Who's in the black van?
I don't know. Just it's lights and sirens and moving. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting, because I think I saw it when I came out of the studio last night. But okay, so that black van, all of that went to Rikers.
Right.
He goes to Rikers.
I don't think it made it to Rikers. I think it was on its way to Rikers. The EMT made a decision to divert to Bellevue.
Why?
He said heart palpitations and
heart palpitations.
That's what
we did not. I haven't heard that yet.
Have
you been?
I haven't heard that actually.
Okay.
I heard that this morning from Harvey's attorney.
No, but you didn't tell me that.
That's what I heard. I heard all this today. I've been one of Harvey's attorneys visited him today in court in Bellevue.
Okay.
To him. So he is in good spirits mentally, physically. He's having a little bit of a hard time.
Okay. He's in the ambulance on the way to Rikers. He tells the EMT heart palpitations.
I think the EMT must have seen
right.
it. I think the EMT must have seen it also. Listen. This guy is heading to Rikers Island from a life that he had beforehand. 67 years old, probably had a little bit of an anxiety attack as well.
And he's like grossly out of shape. I mean, I don't mean gross. I don't mean he's gross. I mean just like,
You can say whatever you'd like. I'm not going to add to that. But,
okay. He's got heart issues. He's got like injections in the eyes. I mean, he has a lot of health problems.
Right.
So he's having heart palpitations. Mm-hmm. They don't go to Queens. They stay in Manhattan.
They stay in Manhattan. He goes to Bellevue Hospital, and he's been there since last night.
Okay, what is his condition now from what you know?
So what Arthur told me was that he's in good spirits, but physically he's having a little bit of a hard time. And Arthur went to see him in Bellevue today.
Arthur's so wonderful.
Arthur is good.
Yes, what a great lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just a great human being to do that, because I know from going to Bellevue, it's not easy. It's harder to go to Rikers.
It's harder to go to Rikers. Right, and I was
it.
told that visitation for laymen, not lawyers, is a little difficult as well. So I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know when he's going to be able to receive visitors, and if he can, I don't know what that process is going to be like.
Okay, so Arthur said his spirits are good, but how's his health?
His health. He high blood pressure. His heart is palpitating. I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know what the medical term for that is, but they're keeping a watch over him. I think that they want to make sure that he stays in good health till sentencing day.
Do you think he's going to stay at Bellevue till sentencing?
I don't know. I believe he's going to be there one more night at least. I don't know.
Okay, so tonight he's staying at Bellevue.
Right.
Okay. Now, has any family or friends visited him? Do you know?
So far, it's been just his attorneys. I don't, like Arthur told me, that it's been difficult for non-lawyers to get in right now.
It is difficult because because it's part of corrections,
right.
And we have the corrections ID, so we can just go in there.
Right.
Whereas a visitor, you have to go through a whole procedure. Donna Rotuno, Damon Tronis, have they gone back to Chicago?
No, Donna is still in New York. Damon, I think, is heading back shortly if he hasn't headed back already.
The appeal. There's different appeals we're talking about.
Right.
We're talking about getting him out before sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're talking about getting him out pending appeal of the conviction.
Right.
And then we're also, of course, talking about the long appeal of the whole conviction.
Right. So far, nothing has been filed. I think the lawyers are conferring with the appellate lawyers, and they will be filing their paperwork shortly. Obviously, the bigger picture is bail pending appeal rather than bail pending sentence. That's only 2 weeks till March 11th. So
I don't understand. Do you really think the sentence is going to happen March 11th? Everybody's going to get their act together by March 11th?
The judge said sentencing day is March 11th.
I know, but I'm just saying, and again, this is from me representing regular people. I'm a court-appointed lawyer. But for regular people, it's you ask for an adjournment, you get an adjournment based on,
So I don't know.
He has another case, I'm working out a disposition, I'm investigating the Los Angeles case. I'm still, there has to be a whole investigation and sentence report. That's put together by the Department of Probation. So nothing to do with him getting probation, but it's put together. This is a big thing.
So far, as of Monday, the judge said March 11th, and that's the date we're going by so far. I don't have any other information on that, and neither do you, neither does anybody else. So,
sure.
I mean, so far, usually in sentencing, the judge sometimes does 4 months out. The judge said March 11th. He gave 2 weeks, which is a fairly short time. So even if it's, I think the judge is expecting or hoping or pushing for it to happen sooner.
Before March 11th?
No, sooner than
later. Okay, well, listen, this is an extraordinary case, and absolutely, you know more than I do in this case.
And Judge Burke had a lot riding on this case, as you know, so I think he wants it to be.
What does that mean, he has a lot riding?
This was a big case for him. He's up for reappointment next year. This was a big case for him.
What does reappointment have to do with this case?
You have to impress the people that want to appoint you.
And why would
Harvey Weinstein is a big case.
But why would convicting Harvey Weinstein? I mean, judges are supposed to be the gatekeepers. So what does it matter if he gets a conviction or it's an acquittal? Why does this have anything to do with Judge Burke being reappointed?
Well, I think that it has, the prosecutor also had a lot going on. And Cy Vance took his victory lap yesterday as well, saying there's a whole change in the whole legal system as a result of this. This wasn't just a case of justice. This wasn't just a lawsuit. This wasn't just a criminal case. There's a lot riding on this, and anyone who's been watching it knows it's been a two-year experience for a social movement in America, for a climate in America. This meant a lot, and an acquittal wasn't an option.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Even for the judge.
I appreciate your candor because I think it's important that people say exactly what they're thinking, and if that's your motivation, that's fine.
I'm saying what I'm thinking. I'm not saying anyone steered anything, but in this environment,
do you think that's why Judge Burke gave so many favorable rulings to the prosecution over the defense because of his reappointment? Answer the question.
I think Judge Burke is a prosecutor's judge to begin with. And I think the way he saw this case and everything, just like the jurors, he knew about this case before it came before him as well. He must have read a newspaper once or twice. And
were his rulings motivated by his pending reappointment? Yes or no?
I think his rulings were motivated by...
You'd be a terrible witness. I literally said yes or no.
His rulings,
yes or no.
His rulings are motivated by the fact that he wanted to see the prosecution's case to, prosecute to the fullest extent it could.
I didn't ask that question. I asked, was it motivated by his reappointment? Yes or no?
I don't know what his motivation is.
Why did you bring you brought this up?
I don't know what his motivation is. I just think that he was very weighted on the prosecution side for just about 90% of the rulings.
Okay.
Right down to the fact when Ms. Rottuno asked him to close the window because she was cold, and Judge Burke said no, and she said, "Can't you do one thing for us?" And the judge said no. And then the windows only closed when the jurors said it was too cold in there. Then he had to close the windows.
It was so cold in there. I was wearing my pashmina and my little
And Judge Burke said
coat.
no when she said it was cold. You close the windows. He looked at her and said no, and she said, "Could you just do one thing for us?" And she said no, and he said no.
Do you think Judge Burke is dissatisfied with the partial verdict?
I don't think.
Partial guilty.
I think a guilty verdict's a guilty verdict, and a jail sentence is a jail sentence. So I think that just like Cy Vance and the victory lap, they're all saying this with justice was done.
How much time do you think Judge Burke would give Harvey?
I can't guess.
5 to 25. Just guess. Make an educated guess.
12 to 15.
Okay, what we're talking about is 10 to 15.
Okay.
We think 10 to 15.
Okay.
I mean, Harvey has no record, but now
Harvey has no record. Harvey has a record of 30 years of abuse from what people have been saying. So that's what I think they're going to go by.
He doesn't have a criminal record.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you want to go, if you're going by the case of, you're going by the justice system, you're going by the social system.
Have you all spoken to Blair Burke, who's representing Harvey in Los Angeles? Are we all already gearing up for that?
I have not. I believe
she's the Arthur Idala, right?
I believe Harvey has been doing his due diligence to make sure that he has a team in place in Los Angeles. I don't.
Blair Burke is the Arthur Idala, correct?
I don't know what the final team's going to look like. And
okay.
I'm not going to say that. I don't know what the final team's going to look like yet.
You don't know if Don and Damon are on board.
I do not know what the final team's going to look like.
Have you spoken to the prosecutors? Has the team spoken to the prosecutors? Do you know when you're going
in
there?
LA?
Yes.
If the team has, I haven't.
Okay, so basically everything depends on sentencing Marshall Levin.
So listen,
and then you'll find out what happens.
You have to imagine that his lawyers have been talking to each other and to the prosecutors to find things out behind, I guess, behind the curtain. I don't know the exact details, and if I did, I wouldn't be at liberty to speak about them on front of CourtTV right now.
Are you worried that Jonah Luzzi and Megan Hast are helping the Los Angeles prosecutors?
I'm not worried about it.
Do you think that's happening?
I think on January 6th it was evident.
Okay. Do you know,
call it as it is.
By the way, so before the Los Angeles DA gave their press conference at 2 p.m., the New York Times broke the news that he was indicted. And the question on everybody's mind was, who told the New York Times?
I don't have any facts. I don't know anything.
Do you tell the New York Times?
I know for sure I didn't. Do
you know who did?
I don't know. I said I don't know.
Do you have any speculation?
My speculation? I think it's a very curious time that it all fell out and all happened. Conveniently, LA could have done whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. Conveniently, it happened at that moment, the first day of jury selection.
Okay, now, we're departing our New York studios, and we thank you for joining us and weighing in on this. Now, even when we go back to...
It's a second home. I'm going to miss it.
I know. Even when we go back to CourtTV headquarters, we hope that you'll still come on.
I would be more than happy to.
And give us updates, because we're staying on this case.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll all go to Los Angeles if there is a trial.
The weather's better.
Juda Engelmayer of HeraldPR.
Thank you.
That's HeraldPR.com.
Thank you.
Write that down. Okay. Our post-verdict coverage of New York versus Harvey Weinstein continues after this.